Alright everyone, so in today's video we'll be reviewing the monster Thradx Sentinel. He is the free battle pass monster, so let's get into his traits. At rank 0 he has hardened, which is mid, and then he's got immunity to freeze, and he's got a status caster 33% life shield for himself. Now his traits, they're not good except his status caster, so not really that great of traits we're working with. And let's check out his skills. I have gone with the recommended skills, so we'll take a look one by one. So the first thing I want to say is that he's got insane stamina cost and cooldowns. 3-turn cooldowns are a bit bad, but he's got access to toxins, which is a great torture because it's vulnerable. It's basically vulnerable in disguise, and 15% nature damage. So toxins is one of the best curses. And then he's also got an area poison skill, so I guess that's something. And then he's got a single enemy poison skill with a self-supporting 33% shield, which again has 50 stamina. So this skill right here, the pituitary slash, the adrenal dash is just a better pituitary slash. Like the first skill, it gives toxins and a 40% life shield. This one only gives poison and a 33% life shield. And then his last attack is very situational. Shield blocker is not useful at all. Like, it's really rare to see a use for shield blocker. It's not really used that much in the meta, so I really don't know what I'm working with here. And now let's play a multiplayer battle with him. And I have recommended runes, which is 3 strength is what I'm working him with. So here's the thing, Social Point advertised this guy as a tank. When the battle pass came out, his description was like a nature and water tank with shielding capabilities. So this guy, not really a tank. Use him as a self-supporting attacker, I would say. He's more of a self-supporting attacker. So right here I'm using toxins against sorcerers, which again, toxins is a great torture. If he had toxins as an area, toxins as an area toxin skill instead of his area poison skill, I think he'd be way better. Plus his shield blocker, maybe it could have been replaced with something better, like a negative effect protection or positive effect block or something similar to that. Overall, he's not really that good. I will not recommend this guy. In fact, I don't like him at all. I don't think I'll be ever using this guy. Like, this guy basically reminds me of a Tobel. The Tobel monster from the Legends Pass? Yeah, that guy, but worse. Like, he's only got so good skills. He's not that great at all. When I looked into his stats, they were pretty good except the speed stat, and his traits are also not that good. Like, immunity freeze is just one form of denial immunity, and hardened is hardened, and his only half decent trait was the status caster trait. Plus he only is relying on 2 tortures, which is poison and toxins. Poison is a really basic torture. Toxins is a good torture, but he doesn't have an area toxin skill. Plus his single damage toxin skill, it doesn't do that much damage. It only has 50 single damage. So a 50 single damage output is not that great, because you see attackers with 70, 65, 60. So having a 50 damage output is really bad. But its area output damage is decent. It's a 40 nature, the nature attack damage with poison, which is pretty good for a attacker as well. But other than that, he's not really doing what he was advertised to be, a tank. And again, we see Social Point advertising monsters with no taunt or mega taunt access and calling it a tank. We saw something similar with Power Root in the last Legends Pass. He was advertised to be a tank, even though he was more of a cursor / attacker. So you keep seeing that Social Point keep doing that as well, calling monsters a tank without the basic things required for a tank, which is taunt or mega taunt. And Thradx Sentinel is just one of those what I would say failed tanks, failed monsters. This monster actually, I would say, had a lot of potential. He could have had taunt or mega taunt if he wanted to be a tank, or even as an attacker. Maybe he could have gotten more torture access, maybe a higher single damage output skill, maybe a self-supporting damage boost. And another elephant in the room I would like to address is his area water skill, which only gives shield block. Shield block isn't even that common in the meta as well. Shield block is not that used in the meta as well. It's really sad to see monsters like these being released. Like, when would you ever use shield block? You wouldn't be seeing using shield block as well. Like, you got so many new tanks releasing with healing capabilities, so if it had something like reverse healing, it would be better. In fact, the skill is so useless, I might actually replace it. Maybe replace it with this skill, this 0 stamina 0 cooldown skill, maybe a spammable skill, if it had a higher damage output, that is. But here's the thing, is special has boiling. Boiling is a great torture. It would have been way better if he had access to boiling as a normal skill. He doesn't have access to that. And anyways guys, that's all for today's video. Never use this guy ever, and subscribe.